Hi again folks, how's all doing? So this is an old Hornby 2MT that was sent to me by Paul. As you can see, it's in a bit of a state of disrepair. Paul has asked if I could maybe get this back together and running again for him, so we'll give it a go. Fortunately it's a model I know pretty well. I've had my own one apart a good few times. The issue with this is likely to be noise and wobbly running. They are prone to being a bit on the wibbly wobbly side, but we shall see. So let's get this pile of bits to the bench and we'll see if we can get it back together and bring it back to life. Righty dokie then, let's get a look at this. The general condition of this is actually okay. Got a missing buffer. Other than that, it looks okay. We've got the obligatory crack where the body fixing screw goes through there. Tender seems okay. Just needs a wee bit of a clean up. I think Paul did say that he had replaced the valve gear on this and never managed to get it all back together. So there is actually two bits of the old valve gear there. So we can disregard those two bits. The rest of it is straightforward enough to put together. But I can see some severe fluffage in this. The rods look a bit dirty and stuff, so I think what I'm going to do is a complete strip down of this and we'll give everything a good clean, give the motor a good service, and we'll see how it goes. But my one does wobble. Another one I've worked on had a wobble, and it's just very common for locomotives from this era to run with a bit of a wobble, it seems. Okay, what will we do? We'll get the motor out first of all. That out. Out she comes. Let's take this motion bracket out. Just undo that screw there. And it comes off. As does that. There'll be the little spacer there. And the rods will come off. Same on this side. Undo these screws to remove the pickup plate. We should be able to feed that through to remove it. Yeah, there's quite a lot of play in the axles, so yeah, I think this will be a bit of a wobbler. Right, okay. I think what we'll do is I'm going to put all tiny wee bits and bobs into the T-strainer. So all my wee bits and bobs are in there. And then we shall pop all these metal things into the sonic cleaner. So all my metal bits and bobs are in the sonic cleaner, but I'm not going to switch it on just now because it'll take about half an hour and it'll interfere with the recording. So I'll leave it now, but we'll give this motor a good clean. Oh, actually, could put this nut and bolt in the cleaner as well. So give this motor a good clean up. Commutator is a bit oily and manky. Magnet is okay. We'll give it a wee blast in the remagnetizer anyway. So firstly, we'll give it a wee scoosh. Wow. It's a tad manky. A bit of fluffage in there as well. Get the manky brush onto the worm gear. Get the pipe cleaner in to clean out some of the gunk. Right, let that contact cleaner evaporate off from the motor. Let's get a look at the chassis and the axles. That out. I'm seriously considering pulling these wheels. We'll give it a good scoosh, see how it cleans up. That axle's fine, that axle's fine, but this one's still a bit stiff. There's quite a lot of gunk in there. Yeah, I think I'm going to pull this wheel. It's very stiff. It's not freeing up with the contact cleaner, and there's quite a lot of gunk in there. An awful lot of gunk, and of course the plastic bush hasn't come off. There we go, and it's broken. I'm sure I've got some others. Yeah, that should come out. Now then, give this a proper clean. Absolutely caked on. Don't know what that is, but it's kind of a black residue that's just really stuck. It's moving freer. It's never going to spin as freely as those wheels because it's got the traction magnet that's always getting pulled to. But, you know, before I could feel it sort of sticking. But it's turning freely now, just getting caught with the traction magnet. Okie dokie. Should have a bush for that. Give a wee couple of taps of the hammer just to set it in. And fit that through there. And set these wheels, just put some tape across just to hold them in position. And then I can put this one on at 9 o'clock. Like so. What's the wheel spacing? Oh dear. Battery's dead on my calipers. To get another battery. Right, give this a wee squeeze in the vise. That should do it. Right, get some oil in these axles. Okay, happy with that. Right, I'm going to put the sonic cleaner on and I'm going to go and take the dogs for a walk. And I'll come back to this later. Right, okay, that's all my bits and bobs cleaned up. I've cleaned the wheels. Just got to clean the commutator now. And then we'll get this back together. Get the old T-cut. Make sure there's no crap in the slots. And give it a scoosh. Right then, let's get this back together. This plate fits on there, and then the cylinder block fits on top. We'll refit the motion bracket to there. And we start to piece this back together. that rod on there. Put the spacer on. Right, hook that onto there. And this is a wee bit of a fiddle. Come on. Like so. Take that off the now. That into there, and that clips into the motion bracket. That will screw into there. Taking a valve gear apart and putting it back together can seem a bit daunting, but it's actually not that difficult. It's certainly fiddly, but so long as you keep a record of what goes where, take some photographs of whatever, it's not really a big deal. So I think that'll work okay. Won't really know until we get the other side done. Okay, right, until I get the motor in place, this could all easily fall apart because that motion bracket just kind of sits there. But let's see if this will work okay. Here we go, look at that. Right, we'll give this a wee blast in the remagnetizer. One, two. That'll do that. Get the bolt through, fit the brush clip back on. Pop the brushes in. Get some oil into the bearings, and that should go with the battery. Get the pickup back. Put that down in there. Now we can get the motor back in place. Use my little makeshift brass screwdriver to screw this down. And then pop that into here. And then we just have to sort the pickup out. Right, let's make sure that wire is behaving itself. Don't want it hitting the gear. Right, let's try a battery on this. Seems fine. I'll put it on the test track. And away it goes. We'll get a wee bit of grease on the worm gear. It's got a wee bit of a waddle, but like I said, they always do. Right, let's pop the body on. Yeah, right, okay. Front bogey. And then we'll see if we've got a buffer. Like that one possibly. Is that a match? Yep. There we go. Right, need to get some oil here, there and everywhere. Okay, I think that's us. That's this 2MT reassembled, serviced. Let's go and pull it out the shed. Okay then, let's bring it out. So there we are, that's this old Hornby 2MT back in action. As I suspected, it does wobble a bit, but otherwise runs quite nicely for an old XO4 motor. I remember getting mine when I was a lad back in the 70s one Christmas, and I absolutely loved it, even if it did wobble. It seemed to run very quiet compared to my other locomotives at the time, and I loved watching the valve gear on it. The cylinder block on this model is quite wide, so this is what I use as a clearance gauge for platforms, etc. If the Ivatt Class will go past, anything will go past. But yeah, this just needed a good clean up and put back together, and job done. Nice locomotive, the Ivatt Class. I'd quite like to pick up a newer version at some point. Right, I shall get this packed up and ready to go back to Paul. Catch you later, folks.